Well, it's been a while since I probably made a video, so here we go. Um, well, we are down to about, my guess is about 6 or 7 class periods. I'll probably cut you guys off a little early, just for the fact that as May goes here, I don't know what it's going to look like. So, but I do want to give you a chance to print something. I know this isn't the way anyone saw the year ending. So, what I'm getting tomorrow is the vinyl printer. So if there's something that you truly want, you can do. And we're going to learn how to do Photoshop a little bit. And this Photoshop P that we'll use is actually pretty good. I've messed around with it enough where it's similar enough to Photoshop. I mean, you're not going to be able to do everything, but you can do the majority of it. So, well, congratulations, you finished the train. I know a lot of you, it's a lot of frustrations, and you guys did a really good job with all the little parts. And I know it's tough, and it's really tough because I'm not there. And like even when I made the video of the cow catcher up front, it didn't work on someone's, and it's all where you started your point of origin, and it's just all those little things that makes it really hard. So I'm going to start grading those. It's just going to be out at a 4-point scale. If you do all of it and you got it all done and it's together and looks good, it's 4, okay? Because it's a test grade. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but it is in this class because we don't have a lot of tests. So that's going to bring us to our next thing, is Photoshop. This is something I started a while ago in this class because I could get these vinyl printers. Now, everything, I mean, it's crazy when you start looking around the world on how much advertising and how much marketing, things like that are made. I used to work for a company that did a lot of lasering and also worked with some Photoshop in there. And I'm 100% self-taught Photoshop. I never took a class on it. I've learned everything. I watch a lot of YouTube videos on it to better myself. So how we'll do this is today is you'll have a small assignment. You're going to watch me do something. Then you're going to create one. And then you're going to submit it in Google Classroom under coursework. Okay. So that's how we'll kind of run it from now on, is every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, basically Monday, Wednesday, Friday, there will be a small assignment in Photoshop. And for some of you who've already had Photoshop, this is probably going to be really easy. And for some of you who haven't, this is, it's all new. So it might be a little bit challenging, but I'll walk you through. If you have an idea of something you'd like made or printed, I have vinyl, like cornhole boards. And I showed you guys those before. I don't know if anyone's ever played the game Cam Jam. I love the game. It's frisbee, and you got these. I don't know. If you never played it, look up Can Jam. It's a fun game. But anyway, I made decals for that before too. So if there's something you want yourself, run it by me. We can figure something out. I remember someone emailed me. It just has to be PDF form, and we'll talk more about that. So if there is something you're thinking like, hey, I would like something along these lines, we'll go through that. So let's kind of get into this. And I know the 3D modeling got a little drawn out and it was hard, and of course it wasn't on my intent, but it's the way it goes. So here we go. What you're going to do is, the website is called PhotoP, and PhotoP looks just like this. It's a nice website. It's smooth. It runs flawlessly on my computer. I've tried it on a Chromebook, which should be one of yours. Tomorrow's going to, well, when you're watching this, today's going to be the day that we're going to try it. So Photopea. So these are the different files you can go. What we're going to always go to is new project. And as you look at new project, you can see the different options that you do have. Over here, these are templates. If there's something you were making and wanted printed, it's pretty simple there. Now, you can see here, there's a Facebook cover page, YouTube. I should probably do that for my YouTube profile. You can change that group header. So they have them already pre-made. So like this cover, if I click it, that's exactly the size that fits onto a YouTube cover. You can see if you're printing like photos, and you can see your wallet and all that. Screen, This is talking about if you're looking at like full HD or just the full screen that we have here. And then of course mobile, if you wanted to, for example, print something on a vinyl case or print out for a vinyl case. So let's say this, let's say you have an iPhone X. If I click this, these are different pre-made ones. You can go blank and put your own in there. So, and we'll talk about that. That's something, and here's course ads. And this is something you can look at and go, well, I have a Samsung. We could print a vinyl sticker that would stick on there and try it. So what I tend to do is up here, next to the name, you can call this one just Collage. And then right here where it says this, I always go to inches. Now this is exactly gives you that exact frame of what you want to print. So for example, if I was doing cornhole boards, I know they're 24 by 48. So I put 24 inches by 48, and that gives me my exact size that I need. Now, if you want to do something circular, that's a little different because you can't make this circular. It's going to be square or rectangle. So we're just going to go, for our sake here, we're going to go 12 by 12. Okay, so 12 by 12, and you can see it still gives you a whole bunch of different templates, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to do white background, and then we're going to go create. And you can see, here it is. Here's our regular background in this. Now, to give you a quick rundown of some different things, what the project actually is today is going to be a collage about you. Photos, things that you like to do, you know, and I'll give you an example here. But the first thing we're going to look at is, we're going to look at this. This is our background. Now, you can see right here it's locked. So when I put stuff on here, I won't be able to move it or anything like that because it's locked. So we're going to first start out with, if we go down here, there's going to be a T. And T is going to be for, text. Now, if I look at this, a shortcut for this, if you go over this and just let it hover, it'll give you that, it says type tool, and then in parentheses it has T. T is the shortcut. So for example, if I'm up here and I just click on my keyboard T, it's going to go to that one. So I used a lot of shortcuts when using Photoshop. It's just faster, and the more you use them, the better and easier stuff is. So for example, all right, so I click, and you're like, my goodness, look how small it is. Two things you can do. You can change it right away to 200 font if you want, and we'll talk about that. So I'm just going to type my name, Mr. Teskey. Now, if that's not exactly what I want, I can go up here. You can see I can change it. I can make this. I don't know how large this actually gets, but I'm going to make it 600. Okay. If I do that here, if I are the different, these are the different fonts, and you can pick whatever you want. So let's fast. Mr. Teskey and fast don't go together, but I'll pick the I'll do a regular one because I'm going to go back, and you can see here, I mean, there are tons and tons of different ones. So I'm just going to choose that one. Okay, nope, I don't want that. I lied. I don't want a full. Let's see what that one looks like. Perfect. Okay. So whenever you pick, I always think of this almost like Onshape. You always have to agree to what you're doing. So for example, right now, if I'm happy with that, I click the check mark. But I'm not. I'm going to change this. I'm going to do a thing called warp. Now, if you look at warp here and you try to click these, none of it works. So you have to go under style and click none. And when you click none, you can see all the different options that you have. So let's do an arc. Now, I'm going to move this out of the way. You can see that arc. Maybe you don't want that. Maybe you want it like that. Horizontal distortion. You want it like this. You can change it. And honestly, more or less, it's playing around with stuff and trying to figure out which one. Horizontal, or do you want it vertical? And that's up to you, of course. Okay, when I'm done with that, I hit OK. And right now, I'm going to hit this check mark. Once I hit that check mark, you can see this here is what we call a new layer, meaning this text is its own entity and its background is something different. And you just got to kind of keep on piling on these layers so you know what you're looking at. Now, to move something, all I'm going to do is I'm going to use the shortcut V. And V is that because M is marquee tool. So right here, this, where I'm hovering right now, that is your move tool. So I'm going to click V. And now I can move this wherever I want. Okay? And once I do, I let go. The one thing you want to make sure you have selected on here, if you look right here, this says auto select. Make sure you have that. Okay? Make sure you have auto select. All right. The other thing I want to show you with this is if you want to add effects to it. Okay? So this is, of course, the layer I'm on. I'm on Mr. Teskey. I'm going to click effects. Now, you can see, let's click some different ones. What does bevel and emboss look like? Okay, now what I do is sit here, and there are a million options through here. Okay, I can't explain how many different things there are, and when you're looking at it. So, if you look at this, it says Mr. Teskey. Now it has an effect right there, and you can go back to it and of course change it to however you want. And you can see how it added a little bit of color behind. You can add an inner shadow, and there's all these different things. So I tell people, just mess around with it is your best. Okay. All right. So let's talk about, I don't know what I clicked there. I must have clicked the add. Yep. Okay. So one thing I like the opening rater. So this is what I would tell people is when images is a big thing, is you want to try to get stuff that's not pixelated. So how do you do that when you're looking? Is right here, what I would do is you're going to go to tools and size and always pick large. If you pick small ones, it doesn't work. So let's say I want this. What I find out sometimes is you got to click into it like this. And I'm just going to click on this and I'm going to just drag it up to photo editor. And now I'm just going to drop it in here. Okay. And that gave me an unfile. It said, hey, can't do that one. That's no good. So I'm going to try to copy image. And now I'm just going to come back here and Command V and paste it. And you can see, there it is. Okay. Now, what we're going to do with this is, when you resize stuff, and okay, so looking at this one, you can see my little Raiders thing. So I'm just going to copy paste that, and then you can see all I'm doing is Command C, Command V, and I'm going to put these. Whoops, I must have missed that one. And you're going to keep copying. You can see here, and what happened is they put them up in this corner, so he's got to be careful. And you can see each one of these is on a different layer. Let's say I like disc golf. Okay. Let's even like this picture right here. Northern. I'm just going to click that one. I'm going to drag it like this, and I'm going to drop it. Now, what's going to happen here is going to pop up like that. Now, how do you resize an object? Is what you do is don't just click and change this. Because look, I'm going to stretch it out. I'm going to make it whatever. You're going to hold down the shift button. And as you hold shift, it'll automatically change it so it doesn't get distorted. Okay. So there's that. And again, when I'm done right there, I'm going to click a picture and go through. Now, what I'm going to have you do is you're going to go through and put at least, I would like 10 pictures that are things you're passionate about. I put disc golf on there. I put family. I put teaching. I enjoy fishing. I enjoy hunting. I enjoy all these different things. So what I want you to do is I would like you for this assignment is I want your name, just like I showed you, and I want 10 pictures. The 10 pictures are up to you. And, kind of mess around with them, see what you can do to make this kind of nice. And I would keep it the same size. When you are done, what you're going to do is you're going to go File, and you're going to say or export as PDF. Okay, and when you do that, you're going to have to submit it into classwork into Google Classroom.